My name is Robert Laurence. I'm a writer and co-director of Beyond the Canvas. So my time with BTC has been incredible. And, I think that it's funny, I brought in our cinematographer, Charlie, who I think has been an amazing addition to the team. And I spoke to him about, hey, I'd really love you to be part of, this group and everything. And, ever since we kind of all got together with Tomas, who is our director of the production company, I think we've all been on this, really wild journey of doing lots of different films. Tomas, just as as the leader of the company, and also as a fellow writer, director, I really look up to his creativity. He does stories that are like poetry in film, and I think that that's a very special way of writing that I have been very inspired by, and I am so happy to be a part of the world that he is creating and to contribute what I can to any of those different things. So, The Faithful Journey really reminds me of a story like The Pilgrim's Progress. Very symbolic about the masks we wear, about how and what we do when we are broken, how others can change our lives for better or for worse. And, our decision at the end of the day of what to do with what we have been given in life. And I think that's the story that The Faithful Journey takes you on. And, it's a story that is almost like the great epics, but it's in your own backyard. And I think that that's one thing that people mistake, is that your story that you've experienced, that is really the greatest story. Because all stories have a truth that needs to be told. And I think that, unfortunately, a lot of times, just like in The Faithful Journey, many people don't tell their stories because they are, just like the characters in that story, hiding behind a mask. So I think it's really a story that reveals more about our world by having everyone wear a mask. And I think that that is the real beauty of it, because you don't need anybody to say anything. You don't need anybody to, necessarily always have their face always on there. Sometimes you need to tell the story more about what people hide. And that is what The Faithful Journey does. So on Fidelis Itinerary, or The Faithful Journey, I was part of the crew and set design. We did everything. I backed up a little bit on assistant directing and making sure all the set stuff was done correctly and everything. We are a small team, so we try to fill in wherever we can, and I appreciate everyone that has done the same thing for sets that I've been running. We did on the 48-hour film festival a 48-hour film called Sticky Fingers. I was the writer and co-director on that one. That was a really fun shoot. I think it has a really good twist, honestly. Not to humble brag, I came up with a twist. Um, but yeah, you should definitely watch it. I think it's a fun, kind of mafia movie, gangster movie. So I had a lot of fun characters. Uh, so I think that you'll enjoy, a few like twists, and maybe one day we can do a noir or a murder mystery or something else like that. That would be fun. The third project that we worked on has been The Road of Sadness, and again, I think that Tomas really made me want to push myself on writing in a lot of ways, and it's literally two characters that spout poetry to each other. I mean, that is such a beautiful, poetry book almost coming to life type of film. And I think I've been really inspired to tell more stories that get to the soul of what people feel like. I think that it talks a lot about how sometimes, we can go through things and we go and choose to be on a road of sadness. And, when we confront and talk to other people, when we find other people on that road and we connect, and there can be a real soul searching where two people can help each other, maybe out of that road, and maybe one person can leave that road a little quicker than the other, but then also that other person, even though maybe they're still on the road of sadness, maybe their heart is not quite as heavy. And I think that we should all try to we should all realize that all those types of stories are really our lives. And I think that that's why we need to be able to connect with each other, maybe more often. And maybe, the connections between each other are what's really important. Maybe it's not the Lamborghini, maybe it's not, the numbers on the screen always. Maybe it's the people, the community. And I think that that's what I really love about storytelling, is because it reminds us that at the end of the day, what's important in your life is not another flat screen TV. It's going to be the people around you and the experiences you've had and the connections you've made with people and the people you've helped on that journey. And I think that that's really what The Road of Sadness is about, is it's helping people. And it doesn't mean that you are perfect or that that you're not out of that road of sadness yourself, but it means that by speaking to another person, you can change and maybe change another person's destiny to help them out of that lonely, dark road. And I think that more of us should do that.